Greetings and a hearty welcome, everyone. I hope you're all faring well. I'm Dr. Jean Marie, and I'm delighted for you to join me on Conversations on Love. Today's episode is Embody Love, Humility, an Ingredient of Love. Humility is the key to better relationships and happiness. Humility empowers us to achieve self mastery, transform our relationship, and enrich our lives through selfless service. Relevant quotes: Pride makes us artificial, and humility makes us real. Thomas Merton. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. Ram Dass. Confucius, humility is the solid foundation of all virtues. These are very relevant conversations that can guide our lives. And humility is a foundation ingredient of love. Humility takes us out of the ego. It's a quiet virtue. We're not puffed up, self centered, haughty, arrogant, prideful, feeling of exaggerated self importance. We're humble. We listen to others. We're open to learning. We profit from life and life experiences and fully embrace ourselves, knowing that we are capable of making perceived errors for our own personal growth. And humility is a virtue for soulful leadership. And when we're humble as well, we are open to divine guidance for direction. So, how can we foster humility? How can we become more loving through humility? How can we open our hearts through humility? True humility is the essence of love and a noble quality. It's the opposite of operating from our egoic state of being arrogant, conceited, and inflated with pride. It is not striving to gain at the expense of others. Humility is strength of character beyond status, rank, or class, and we regard ourselves and others as worthy. And a well defined spiritual life encompasses humility and being mindful of humility, a quiet, inward spiritual quality that is outwardly expressed. And it brings peace and contentment to our soul. And humility has a vicarious effect. We learn a lot about people based on how they respond. And humility is our inherent natural quality that is overshadowed by our ego. So, what does it feel like to be humble? Think about it. How do you feel when you experience humility of another? Being humble is transformative. We see life with a wider lens, with clarity and a fresh perspective. And in our everyday experiences of life, we can ascend to our higher and natural state of being. Being humble transforms us, our relationships with others, and also in selfless service. And it makes us inviting, irresistible, and intriguing. I will share insights on humility. First, I like to focus on humility with self. And achieving self mastery begins with humility. We are always in a process of self discovery, remaining inquisitive, asking ourselves questions makes us aware of ourselves, others, and our surroundings. Open to listening, being silent within ourselves is a powerful place. It's an opportunity to observe our thoughts, be attentive to our feelings, and alert to what needs to be addressed. We can be gentle with ourselves, forgiving and compassionate, and acknowledge that we do not know all the answers. And we realize that we're not beyond asking for help and seek and accept feedback from others. Humility encourages us to take note of our own life's journey and lessons for personal and spiritual growth without being self righteous and overly critical. It connects us to our inner child where we can be more genuine and open. There's an eagerness, curiosity, and wonder about life. We're sincere and honest, and no matter what we achieve, we stay grounded and centered within. And practicing humility, we achieve spiritual maturity, and most importantly, we are grateful. The second is humility with others. We grow and learn through our relationships with others. Humility bridges the gap in relationships. It's the glue in relationships. And as we're patient, we develop humility. We're attentive, we listen, and we really hear others. And as we become more compassionate with ourselves, we are more compassionate with others. We become more engaging and present with others. We're not quick to respond, to be argumentative, and the other person feels seen and heard. And we really appreciate others. The wisdom of humility is a powerful healing response as opposed to being judgmental and critical. And we look for the good in others and allow others to be seen and heard. And sometimes it's not necessarily necessary to immediately respond. Humility gives us a wider lens to view the situation from a different perspective and to be open to listening to others. It enriches our interactions with others and also helps us motivate others. Humility has a subtle influence that's transformative. We recognize when we need help and acknowledge those who help us. We stay grounded and enjoy life's simple pleasures. And we become grateful for lifelong learning experiences. We also realize that we are not beyond help and appreciate the feedback from others. Third is humility in service. As quoted by Henry Drummond, love hides even from itself. Love waives even self satisfaction. Love vaunteth not itself. It's not puffed up. If you have not love, it profits nothing. People feel love in your heart. And as Drummond quoted, put a seal on your lips and forget what you've done. After you've been kind, after love has stolen forth into the world and done its beautiful work, go back into the shade again and say nothing about it. Love hides even from itself. That's beautiful. Love waives even self satisfaction. Love vaunteth not itself. It's not puffed up. So, selfless service is all about humility. Charitable service is an avenue of love. And as Mahatma Gandhi quoted, the best way to find ourselves is to lose ourselves in service. So give and serve with love in our hearts, with pure intentions, without motives for self-gain or the need for recognition. No task is beneath you when you understand your role of service. We're accessible no matter what your station is in life. And as Mother Teresa quotes, we can do no great things, only small things with great love. I just love that. We serve with higher intentions and for the greater good. When we're humble, we serve with joy. You're able to give in whatever capacity comes to you, and labors of love through selfless service is not looking down on others. We become sensitive and responsive to others. Thus, to give love, our gifts and talents, given freely and purely, witnessed by others. And there's no need to seek praise. So we come nearest to the great when we are great in humility. That's a quote by Tagore. Humility is the ingredient of a loving spirit. It is an honorable virtue. Everyone is deserving and worthy. It enables us to see the best in others, and people feel seen and heard and worthy as fellow human beings. People really enjoy our company and love to be around us when we're humble. It brings us in harmony with ourselves and our fellow man. And humility, we must realize, is our natural state of being. And our lives become fuller and richer. And as Drummond states, the condition of your heart determines the spiritual condition of your character. Character develops in the stream of life. So contemplate on humility, take conscious action, and practice it in your daily life. And as we move away from the ego and become consciously aware of humility, that is our natural state of being. And as we operate from love, we grow and advance spiritually and witness empowering changes in our lives and the lives of those we encounter. No matter how accomplished we are, remain humble. The love in action practice is in two parts. First, I'd like for you to journal on humility. Engage in self-reflection and self-introspection. I'd like for you to consider being the observer of yourself. Journal on your encounters and interactions, those that were positive and enriching, and those that perhaps were not so much. What were your thoughts? How did you feel? How did you act? How could you have achieved a better outcome from those encounters that did not bode well? And the second part is to cultivate humility through awareness and pay attention to how you are being in your encounters in everyday life and notice the outcomes. Feel free to email me about your experiences and insights. Jean72Farish@yahoo.com. I close with this excerpt on modesty. Modesty is an outward expression of humility. Be not deceived by outer appearances, vanity, or popularity, but what's in the heart. Stay true and in touch with your inner self at all times. Take time for gentle self-reflection for purity of heart. Trust what sustains and nourishes your soul. Consume what is good, right, and true. Reflect your divinity in thoughts, feelings, words, and deeds. This is Dr. Jean Marie. And remember, an empowered self is a loving self. And keep your love light shining. It's all about love. Thank you so much for tuning in.